Mawsynram, home to the wettest place on earth. It receives about 467 inches of rain per year, but despite this, the community members of several villages in the block face scarcity of water. Women and children had to walk several miles only to fetch drinking water. Something had to be done. The communities from the Mawsynram block took it upon themselves to solve the impending water crisis. They came together to strategize and implement ways and means to conserve water. This led to the birth of the historic Mawsynram Declaration, an official community-led agreement that pledged for water to be harnessed in their respective villages.
Agajing sisya ka Mawsynram block de ka block ka bujur slap tam. Tingi pej ba hagpor ba jur slap ku ke ki wa ba kila flood kat ba ki wa doi ki bomju dan ro kila dan tenre tang ba hagden sitio artio lene kato kan nesngi ki wa rit kila arngat ki wa ba pat kila rit tingi le kumno ni syong bat kisnong ya perkat khamtam gini ki snong gebran salor kumno bangin penek pensa ya ka kawa kenang ba kita kisnong gebran sapo kin yo ya ka bat lah kidai ki portlang ro te teng teng daya syong mju ya pai se ro namar ba we usnong perkat dokum we dokum we tama hagalas ba hagjingwan jong isar sampat kumar hau agas arajar khat khandai tingila dep wan inspection nakine gibi isi parok ke badan sini las bangilai kedai kasnong mauhyang tapi ha kasnong mauhyang ya syong nalor taulum kadon gawe ka cek dam ka pasapo pastai bat gawe ka adan cek ka ba kham haneng teula angingi ba lada phila penhe syuk ka te ka cek dam tingi ong ba ka jaka kam dei syuk ka to ka jong kasnong kala kut wong thet ya ka jaka.
Meghalaya has a majority indigenous population and is governed under a special constitutional provision, the 6th Schedule, which recognizes the tribal community's rights of ownership control over land, forests, and natural resources. Several acres of land are hence owned by private individuals or communities.
So during these interactions, the field level interactions and the field visits, it has come, everyone has realized that, the water problem is coming up, and the climate change is affecting the state. So when this was noticed with the Honorable Chief Minister and the Cabinet, we brought a state water policy, which is the first of its kind policy. The policy is essentially brought to bring that focus and attention on the problem, and also it's a kind of an intent, it's a kind of a statement of intent what we need to do, to solve this problem.
In July 2019, Meghalaya became one of the first states in India to adopt an integrated approach to solving water problems through a state water policy. The state water policy aimed to address water issues, conservation, and protection of water sources in the state. Village water councils were set up across Meghalaya's villages, through which villages can now discuss and adopt their own distinct resolutions to conserve water.
So as a part of this process, in fact, a lot of initiatives have been taken up by the village communities, especially the village employment councils and also the village natural resource management committees that have been set up across the state. One of the things that happened in Mawsynram was that in one village, we found a very interesting example. We call it in development language positive deviance. This is something that which is not seen in other villages. What we have seen in this village was the community understood that the source of the water, that is the catchment area, is actually falls under a private land. So unless we protect that catchment area, which is in the private land, they cannot actually secure water in their river. and their in the water streams. So what they did was they negotiated. In fact, they discussed as a community, and then they have acquired that private land for preserving it as a catchment area. So this is a beautiful idea. When we visited, when we got to know this from the field visit, we had a meeting at the block level with other village headmen and the VECs, and then we have shared this idea. This is a positive deviance. Whether this kind of an exercise also can be done by you, because if you don't protect the source, the problem will always remain.
Positive deviance is a term that means an uncommon action or behavior, which is positive or good in its outcome. In every struggling community, there may be a few individuals who are unexpectedly doing well. Once these cases are identified, they can serve as a model for others. In the same way, this community that realized they could buy the catchment area land are a positive deviance example for other communities to follow.
So this was actually, we facilitated a discussion, and then and instantly many villages have come forward that we will also do. And today, that's why we call it as a Mawson Ram declaration. And around 24 villages have done this exercise. They have, taken over that land that falls under the catchment area of their water streams, and they are preserving it.
It was observed that there was a lack of a cohesive effort from several villages under Mawson Ram block to tackle the common problem of water scarcity. Realizing an urgent need to mitigate the problem, 24 villages came together to solve the issue under one banner and called it the Mawson Ram Declaration. Whilst some villages aim to expand the size of water retention structures, others wish to convert certain areas into tourist attractions, while some plan to put forth land development interventions to further enhance the aesthetics as well as conserve the natural landscape of the place. The scope of the Mawson Ram Declaration hence expanded from not just water conservation but to natural resource management and sustainable livelihood practices as well.
Hadin ba Isar Sampat Kumar Haus Nam Arjat Khandai Iwan man penlong ya meeting hang teh Mawson Ram blok. Hakata ka meeting lakhot ya ka ne ka sunong ka jongi. Bad nga we la lej ban aten hakata ka meeting. Ilabu ya ka ne ka point ba ngidon ka makmat ya ka ne ka declaration. Te hamar kum tahi na kaleng jongi kum ka sunong la ne kum ka VEC ngilayok ban ya sain lang hakata ka. Memerendom ka ba ngiyok ban menjur ban pediang ya ka ne ka Mawson Ram declaration.
Nadu ketua SNEM ba lapacai sepanjang dengan declaration dengan tiet jaki jaka milaya keren jaki jaka ile persang ban pan tiet ru jaki don jaki jaka bangim simyo kim kuat bandi tina kata kadau tang ban yo itu jaka ban pentrai ya ka pung ban sna jaki cekdam tingilaya tho dekat agreement nang ba kitu kitrai habang isna itu ka dam kim day ban pendu handai kin long try hi maki handai ka snong kan yo jing bentoi da ka ba ni yo ban seng itu kidam ban pendon kam ya ka
ke jing sedang jungi ni ka kam da ka mut ban penek ban sai ka marang ka ba kong santam namarang kum mun ong na men sua ka ne kadang long tang ka jaka syrak ka israk handai man tapat da ka jing trai ka jing wan ba ka ne ka MG ngilak man pen bha ban tangkai ne kat ne bakal lang mentah
isu ban penpau di sungu nak keleng jungi ru kum ka snong la yo ban thiet ya ka jaka nak benda bangin yo ban penek pensa ya ka kham tam ha po ka ne ka snong ka jungi tikini ki dokumen ki ban nak keleng jungi kum ka VEC pongkung la yo ban thiet ya ka jaka ha ka ba ngilai kumbang ngilai kut hak tu ke jingalang haus nam arja kat kendai te nak le jong kum usketri jong ka VEC rengkat bat ka VEC hi boro kowe kum juru bat ka chong hi boro kowe ngila sim khiai ke ka benta bat hak ba ngilaya yet ye kita jaka ke balaj bat ngila yo ke jaka ka beng namta bangin sna ye ni ki dam ban pendek pensa ya ka po ke ka dong ka than ka jongi
tang gawe ka lang ne skmat ngila kum ka do ba chong jongi ban yo ban pensa lem ya ki cloud ki tap kolong ngi gidon ki jaka ma shul hadin lang tungi thiet no ka snong các cái jika mai thiệt kumur kala he ha te hadin ngila thumu bangin sinai ka dam ndai kiding de ngila thumbun ta kala jerngam ha kila he kila wan pej ki wi ki forest department ru kila wan thau yu rai kene gadi ki jing angnut jongi kumbino sinong ban penne pensa ya kamariang baru ya ka
hakapor telang hajing sisa kasinong jongi kalong kasinong kabak kerdu ndai lingba kini ki spring chambal andai lingba ki jing construct ki check dam long sisa kajing metoy ba menta ilayo ya ka bangin bam bangin di pat kumjur ngapan pau ba lingba kini scheme bat lingba kini ki NRM project hakaba menshua ki don ki jaka ki ba long selen ndai lingba kini ka scheme kabamut ba menta ilayo ban thung ka afforestation ban penne pensa ne ya kamai mariang lingba kajing ya thung deng.
The Mawson Ram Declaration brought a cohesion that was missing amongst all the villages of Mawson Ram block. And as communities became more engaged, they saw ways to converge existing state schemes and projects to achieve even more impact than in a single scheme alone. Two such schemes are MGN REGA and CLLMP. The Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Generation Act is a measure that enhances the power of village bodies by enabling them to plan and implement their own development projects, and also provides an important source of income through guaranteeing 100 days of paid employment to low-income individuals. The Meghalaya Community-Led Landscape Management Project, or CLLMP, likewise provides opportunities for communities to plan and implement projects. It provides funds and facilitation to communities to develop a sustainable natural resource management system to restore degraded landscape, build climate resilience, and generate opportunities for livelihoods. Many villages in the state have successfully used both schemes together with impressive results.